Wake up in the grind, clock ticking, 20 minutes flat, freedom main-handed, knives built with...
Welcome back to another episode of the 20-Minute Freedom Project, and I am your host, Josh Lopez. In part one, we covered all the soft stuff, the truth, the biology, the relationships, the Maxwell levels 1 and 2, the foundation. But today, we leave the comfort from the circle of safety. Today, we go to war. Today, we talk about the burden of command. Before you get empowerment, before you get to legacy, before you get to freedom, you walk through fire. You step into the arena of total accountability. This episode is the punch you need, the mirror you have been avoiding, the weight you must learn to carry. So, let's go. There are no bad teams, only bad leaders. I know, right away, that line just punched some of you in the chest. Maybe you exhaled through your nose, annoyed. Maybe you tightened your jaw. I can feel the pushback from here. Josh, you don't know my employees. Josh, you don't know how lazy they are. You don't even know the market conditions. You don't know my spouse, my kids, and my boss. Stop. Just stop. Here's the medicine you need. And it tastes awful going down. Kind of like when you were a kid and your parents would give you something and you're just like, oh, it tastes awful. Same idea. If your team is failing, it is your fault. If your profit margins are slipping, it is your fault. If your marriage is deteriorating, it is your fault. If your health is failing, it's your fault too. If you're tired, overwhelmed, stressed, behind, drowning, you guessed it, it's your fault. Not because you're a bad person, not because you're weak, not because you're broken, because your leadership is your ownership. And the ownership is the price to your freedom. I want to take you somewhere that strips away all the excuses. A place where leadership failure doesn't mean a bad quarter or a missed KPI. It means a body bag. It means a folded American flag. Iraq, spring 2006. One of the most dangerous places in the world. Every doorway could conceal an ambush. Every rooftop, maybe it has a sniper. Task Unit Bruiser, SEAL Team 3, is operating in this chaos under the command of Jocko Willink. You've probably heard of that name. But before his books, before the podcasts, before the fame, there was this defining moment. Let me paint it for you. Imagine gunfire cracking, dust choking your lungs, radio comms overlapping in your headset. Your heart beating so loud it feels like an explosion. This is not some kind of cinematic wizardry. This is confusion, adrenaline. This is the fog of war. That terrifying reality where even the best of the best struggle to see the clarity. And in the storm, the worst possible scenario is unfolding. Friendly fire. SEALs fired on other SEALs. It is a leader's absolute nightmare. A cascade of miscommunications, timing errors, moments that weren't supposed to happen, bullets flying in the worst possible direction. When the dust settles, the damage is real. An Iraqi soldier is dead. Several SEALs are wounded. The mission compromised. Back at base, you feel the heaviness. This is the weight of command. This is the cost of leadership. The investigators, the brass, are flying in. Someone is going to take the fall. Someone may lose a rank, command, and someone may face criminal charges. Jocko sits down to write his report. He has every reason in the world to spread the blame around like confetti to everyone but himself. A radio man didn't relay the coordinates. A soldier moved without orders. Fog, chaos, uncertainty. Perfect excuses. But in the debrief, something extraordinary happens. The team sits down. The investigators are watching. The SEALs are tense, ashamed, terrified. Jocko asks, whose fault was this? A SEAL stands up. Boss, it was my fault. I didn't verify the target. Jocko says, no. Another stands up. It was me. I didn't make the radio call. Again, Jocko says, no. Another leaps to his feet. It was me. I moved too far forward. Jocko, again. No. Sit down. Jocko steps forward, shoulders back, eyes steady. He says, it was my fault. I'm the commander. I am responsible for everything that happens. And everything that fails to happen on this battlefield. Silence. That is leadership. That is absolute ownership. That is the burden of command. And do you know what happened? He didn't get fired. He didn't lose authority. He didn't lose respect. He gained it all. Because real leaders don't blame to anybody else. They take the hit so the team can rise. That moment changed modern leadership forever. And it should change you. Let's bring this home. Let's bring it back to your business, your team, your household, and your life. In part 1, we talked about level 1, position, level 2, permission, but you must not stay there. Level 3 is where the real transformation begins. Level 3, production. It's the results level. Maxwell calls this level the results level. Production attracts production. Winners want to follow winners. You can be nice, the nicest, most empathetic, most inspiring leader in the world, but if you don't produce, and if your team is not winning, people will leave. High performers will bail. Your ultimate culture will rot. Extreme ownership is fueled by level 3. Because when you take ownership of the problem, you gain the authority to fix it. If you blame the market, you can't fix the market. If you blame the economy, you can't fix the economy. If you blame yourself, you can fix you. That is where the true power is. But level 3 is not the summit. It's just the middle of the mountain. The next level is level 4. It's the people development. It's the one that kills the ego. This level separates the managers from the leaders. Level 4 requires humility. It requires generosity. It requires that you kill your ego. And this is why. A level 4 leader trains their replacement. That sounds insane to most people. Most managers hoard information. They create bottlenecks to feel important. They say things like, only I can do that, because they're terrified of being replaced, by being removed from their position. I have seen this time and time again at the gym I go to. There is a leader there that is so scared of her being replaced that she has made it impossible for some other very capable employees to fully do their job and to be happy. Turnover is high. People are not happy. And they use the gym as a middle point. They use it as I will stay here for a while, but I am going to consistently look for something better. If they would just trust their employees, make it a great environment to work, and not be scared that because she doesn't do a great job at her job, then she would lighten her load and have a better work environment for everybody. Everyone would be happier. Someone that is scared of being replaced is not actively pushing to become the better version of themselves. They're scared and insecure because they are not leveling up. They're choosing to stay where they are and try to bottleneck people and hold people down so that they can maintain their status. When you have an active member looking on the inside or looking from the outside in and talking to other people there, that when it's that visible, there are times that you should definitely take a stock and think about what you are actually doing. Because like I said, it is insecurity and it is not leadership. A level 4 leader wants to be replaced. Because if you can replace yourself, you can move up, as long as you are actively getting better at the things that you can do. If you can delegate, you can scale. If you teach others to lead, you can earn freedom. Remember the name of this podcast, 20-Minute Freedom Project. You cannot be free if you're the only one who knows how to run the machine. That's a recipe for disaster. The next level is level 5. It's the pinnacle. It's the legacy. It's where it's like reaching the top of Mount Everest. You've got to the tippity top where only a few ever are able to fully grasp and accomplish. Where the air, it has a whole different smell. This is where people follow you not because of your title, not because of your track record, but because of who you are. Level 5 is character. its influence, its legacy. This is the level Jocko displayed in that room. The level that inspires loyalty. The level that changes families, companies, and communities. But you don't reach level 5 through talent. You reach it through ownership. Let me speak to the honest part right now. Some of you that are listening are thinking, Josh, I'm tired. I'm overwhelmed. I don't have the energy to train someone else. I don't have the strength to take blame for everyone's mistakes. I'm barely holding myself together. I hear you. At times, leadership is lonely. Extreme ownership is exhausting. You can't complain down. You can't spread the excuses and point blame to some random person. You can't vent to the people you lead. You have to absorb the stress so the team can stay focused. So how do you build a mind strong enough to carry that? How do you build those mental calluses that can withstand that much pressure? You go to the mirror. David Goggins calls it the accountability mirror. It's simple, it's brutal, and it damn near freaking reveals all your insecurities and all the things that you don't like. And it's the one of the most transformable tools you can use. And here is how it goes. You go to the bathroom, close the door. There's no Instagram filters. There's no super awesome angles. There's no music. There's no soft lighting. It's just you. Look yourself in the eye and tell the truth. If you're overweight, say, I'm overweight. If you procrastinate, say, I procrastinate. If you avoid conflict, say, I am afraid. If you are undisciplined, say, I am undisciplined. We lie to ourselves more than anyone else, and those lies are slowly killing us. Goggins says you can't fix what you don't acknowledge. I have never been in the 12-step program, but one of those steps is to acknowledge that you have a problem. You are acknowledging the fact that you are lying to yourself. You are telling yourself stories that are not true. There's a rule that changes everything. And it's called the 40% rule. When your brain says you're done, you have only used 40% of your capacity. Your mind stops you long before your body or your potential does. I can take that for an example. Just recently, I was working crazy hours. 16, 18, 20, getting shit for sleep. And I had tried to move a piece of equipment, and it did not budge. It was heavy. I didn't know what the hell I was trying to do by moving that. And one night, I was tired of looking at it. And I said, you know what? I'm going to try moving it. And you know what happened? Because my mind was tired. My body was honestly tired. But I went out there and I didn't let my mind stop me. I had that split second of a slowdown on my mind where that where your mind slows you down and says, you can't do that. There was a lag. I picked it up. So then I went and got some help. Went and got a buddy. He brought a dolly. Honestly, maxed out that dolly probably twice. Dolly shouldn't have freaking be picking that up either. But I stuck the dolly into the other end, had him pull back on it, and I picked that piece of equipment up, and we moved it. Got it out of the way of where it was. That's just one example of how your brain stops you. You could take that into the gym. Does the same thing. When your reps on any exercise that you're actually doing stop, and you hear that little voice in the back of your head that says, I'm done, not doing anymore. That's that voice that is slowing you down and stopping you from achieving those things that you want to achieve. Because, as I said, your mind stops you long before your body or your potential does. What about that 60% that we didn't talk about? That's where the leadership happens. That's where the breakthroughs happen. And that's where the freedom is built. The truth is, freedom isn't free. It's purchased with the currency of discipline. It's purchased with the currency of ownership. When you blame your employees or your wife or your partner or your kids or someone that cuts you off in traffic, you give them the power over your destiny. Let's go back to your spouse or your girlfriend or your boyfriend. When you blame them, you become the victim in your own house. When you blame the economy, you chain your future to forces you cannot control. But when you say, it is my fault, you take back the steering wheel. You push out that enemy that is in that driver's seat with the name of blame. They will want you to blame everybody else. But when you push that person that is holding you down, figuratively, obviously, but when you take the control back. You push yourself into the driver's seat and you take the steering wheel, because when you do that, and if it is your fault, then you can truly fix it. Tonight, I want you to take action. Go to the mirror. Kill the ego. Tell the truth. Take the blame. Make a promise to lead the way you should have been leading. It is a challenge. You're going to have stumbling blocks along the way, but do it. And if this episode has pushed you, challenged you, or made you think, share it with someone, a friend, a coworker, your significant other, or somebody else that you care about that can actually help them. And remember, freedom isn't found, it is built one step at a time. So stop waiting. Go lead your team, your life, and your family. And I will catch you guys on the next one.